Alright guys, this is Kevin from class, GSS 106, Table 2, Professor Rizopoulos, GSS 106. Today our project is on the dynamics and different shapes of sound waves and reverberation. So basically today I'm going to be showing you different ways that different VSTs and sound oscillators do generate sound and what these sounds will sound like when they're affected with reverb, and the different parameters associated with actual stock reverbs and different reverb plugins within the said DAW, which is Digital Audio Workstation. So let's get started today. And if I randomly break out into an Australian accent, I apologize, because I've been was watching videos on YouTube of how to produce for around 6 years, so sometimes it randomly happens. Hold on one second. Alright, here we go. I'm going to drop reverb. This is, actually it was already on. Didn't even need to do that. This is right here, the stock reverb in Ableton. This right here, it says the input processing. You have low cut and high cut. And low cut will just it's basically allowing what signal frequency will be inside the reverb. So if you cut out all the highs, you shift this to the left, you'll notice that you won't hear that much high frequency within the reverb. If you do the opposite, you'll only hear the high frequency within the reverb. This adjusts the hertz. So if you go up and down, it's going to go left and right, because as you go through the frequency range, it's going to shift left or right. This right here is pre-delay. It basically pushes the sound, the reverb, further back. So I'll give examples now of what I'm saying, so like that it's a little bit easier to understand. Alright, we have this sound, right? So I'm gonna shift the high cut to the right and show you what it sounds like when it's just high cut reverb. Hold on one second. Hold on one second, guys. Sorry, I just kind of forgot for Serum. FX. Okay, sorry. There's an actual reverb within the program on right there, so I had to turn that off before I could show you the stock. All right, the sound is very dry. You can hear it. Okay, now I'll put the stock reverb on right now. Okay, now. Okay, I'm gonna turn the dry wet up. The dry wet is how much of that signal that is being sent is being affected. So we're gonna increase the dry wet. The higher the dry wet, the further the sound sounds away from us. And I'm gonna put the pre-delay down, because I'll show you if I put it down, the reverb is instantaneous. The higher I go, you hear it. Now I'll just put a moderate amount of reverb and shift the pre-delay all the way up, and you can see what I mean. Okay, this is what it sounds like normally. Now we go up. We'll go to max right now. More. The higher the dry wet, the more that pre-delay is going to have an effect on the reverb itself. I'm going to bring this all the way down. Okay, I'll bring the dry wet down as well. This is the diffusion network, which is going to affect how much of the frequencies are going to diffuse out. So we'll drop it to only low frequencies. But you barely hear anything when you have it this way. The farther right I go, the more reverb is being allowed out, because as I have it over here on the high cut, there's mostly just high. We're taking only mostly the high frequencies over here. So the diffusion network, the farther right I go, you're going to hear more of the reverb. If I do it the other way around, and I bring it from left, it's going to sound very tinny, very hollow, because there's no depth to it within the low frequency range, like from over here. So, give me one second. Yeah, that's basically stock reverb, but there's also some more things I'm going to show you right now. Here's the sound. I'll actually make the sound a little bit more interesting. I'll take any sound actually. Do a preset. Yeah, so you have some really interesting sounds. I'll use that one because it doesn't. So, alright, now we have decay time. Alright, this was another thing I was going to explain. We'll take the dry wet down a little bit because I want to show you what it's like when it's not super affected. So I'm going to turn off the diffusion network for a minute. Okay. Okay, so we have this sound now. Decay time is how long that reverb is going to reverberate for. So we have this right here, right? If I increase the decay time, that reverberation time goes up very high. So I'm going to keep increasing. The more reverb I have, it's going to sound like it's almost drowning. The lower you get, because you're pushing it so far back in the mix. Alright, enough of that. It's driving me nuts. Alright, so now, hold on 1 second. Let's see. Now we have, there's also the reflect that we were talking about in class, how when we were using the example of the cathedral, where there's steps and how the sound waves are bouncing off those steps and causing a certain effect. So if we have, say, a sound, we'll put it moderate reverb, so a little bit of decay time, sorry. And then let's say we want to hear that sound diffuse. Turn off this network. Hold on 1 second, guys. Decay time. So basically what's happening is the higher up I keep this diffuse, sorry, a friendly dog just entered the room and alright, hold on 1 second. Basically the diffuse, when you put it up, you're going to hear more of that reverberation diffuse, and this is diffusing throughout the mix in general. And this will increase the reflectivity, obviously, of the reverb when it's bouncing around. You kind of almost hear like more gradient with the reverb. Alright, so yes, hold on 1 second, guys. That's what sound sounds like. I'll make a small melody really quick just to, let's see what we have. Go up a little bit, say 126. Sorry guys, just 1 second. This has a portamento. This portamento is kind of getting on my nerves. Sorry guys, 1 second. FX, dimension. It's just the sound itself. I'll choose a different sound. We have Plux. 1 second. Sorry guys. There we go, this works. Now, cut off. Alright. I can't find the sound I want, so I'm gonna skip over that part. And I can make just a simple melody. So yeah, this is everything, the diffusal, the reflect. Now I shall do this really quickly. Let me explain to you Serum now. I'm going to show you the sound wave generations that we can do. So we go basic shapes. And now these are literal basic shapes of different sound waves. This is a saw. Okay. Okay, this is actually not initialized. I have to initialize the preset really quickly. Thank you. Okay. Now we go basic shapes. Sorry, guys. These are all different shapes we could use. There, obviously. Well, we're gonna get the sign. Okay, that's why I was in the wrong thing, guys. And wavetable position. There we go. Yeah. Okay, here we go. This is the table position. It'll change the actual shape of the sound wave, guys. Sorry for the confusion. This is an actual sine. I'm still wondering why it's sounding like Ampology. Hold on one second, guys. Just looking for something. This is a new VST for me, so it's taken a little bit of time. Alright. Hold on one second, guys. I wish I had like some waiting time music for this. Totally skipping this part in class. Alright, sorry guys, a little bit of a... Alright, cool. There we go. Alright, now everything's good to go. Now I can actually explain the different waves generated. So right here we have a sine wave. Right, and I'm going to take the reverb off, because this is before I show how each affects each waveform. I can drop the octave if I want to. This is where most songs, a lot of bass is generated just through sine waves, saw waves. And just having a little fun playing around with keys. This is basic saw wave. It's very flat, not flat, but flat sounding. Here we go. Very smooth, very, I don't really know how to explain it. This itself right here, when I go up to a sine wave, you'll see. I mean, this is not a sine wave, I'm sorry, a saw wave. This has more of an edge to it. It has like almost a stab to it, depending on how you adjust the cutoff frequency, which is over here. And we're gonna go up. And this is a square wave. As it says, it kind of sounds like what it's called. It kind of sounds squarish. Has like this. I don't know how to really explain a square wave the way it sounds, but yeah, that's what it is. This is what a square wave sounds like. This is a square wave that's pushed off to the left more. It's not really centered. You hear more of the frequency on the left-hand side. Now you really hear it. This is a condensed square. And this is known as the mighty triangle. I'm not exactly sure, but I'm pretty sure the professor would ask us if it was the opposite way on the final, if these two waveforms met, what would happen? I hope I get the question right, but let's see. So now these are the different waves. Now let's show how these are affecting, how this reverb affects these individual sound waves, different ones. Alright, so you have that basic, generic sine sound. Now if I was to put reverb in the high cut and basically use only these frequencies, you really wouldn't hear any reverb, because this is mostly a low frequency sound. So what we'll do is we'll shift this to the low. I'll take off high cut because we don't really have, I don't need to take off high cut. I'll just, yeah, here we go. You can hear that, even if I turn up the decay time a little bit. All I have to do is tap the key, and you have that gigantic reverb. Okay. And if I go right, you don't get that sound. And let's see, so this is just a sine wave itself. Most people don't reverberate on the lower basses. to waste. It's usually used on mid-range sounds to accentuate certain frequencies, to provide a certain warmth to whatever project you're working on as far as sound-wise. So give me 1 second, guys. Everything is... So yeah, there's actually a couple things I didn't talk about. Sorry. About on the reverb itself. It's, the dry wet. I probably don't have to explain that, but this is just how much reverberation is actually happening, in case I didn't say that before. If you put it max, you can't even really hear the sound itself. Push so far back in the mix. And chorus is actually just an effects that, you know, alters the reverb a little bit. Now, I'm going to show you guys how an ADSR envelope works within this VST right here. So I'll start by making a MIDI clip and take one note, that's one MIDI note. I'll take the reverb off for 1 sec. Okay, so to make this so you can hear it more, make it a sine wave, put up the octave a little bit. No. Bless you. Alright, so now we have, this is the ADSR envelope right here. You have attack, decay, sustain, release, you also have hold. And this is going to affect the way this MIDI note itself plays, like how it sounds. So I'll show you. Right now it sounds like this. If I start messing with the decay, 1 second. Decay, this. Let's ascend. Yeah. There we go. So basically, if the sustain is all the way up, doesn't matter how long the decay is, it's not going to be able to, won't really be able to hear it. But if you take down the sustain a little bit, because that's how long the note is going to really play for, how much energy the note has, kind of like the amplitude. You can hear the lower the attack. If you have low sustain and low decay, you hear the sound like it has very little time to play. The longer you go, the longer the decay. This is me pressing it one time singularly. Now it's me when I turn up the release. This is me pressing it once. That release is increasing the time in which the note is being played, how long it plays for. And so you can get cool variations. You could have a note with very little decay that just plays for a while. You could have a very long decay. It sounds like the note never ends. But the shorter the release, it's not going to play for that long. Only from the minimum value, energy wave of the sound, to the maximum. That's what decay is, I was told. And yeah, so the attack is how long it takes for that first initial hit to actually hit. So if you have an attack that's up, if I press it, it won't hit its maximum amplitude. See? The longer the attack is, it takes longer for me to hit maximum amplitude. Alright, and right here, let's see. I can show you when you adjust the envelope with varying amounts of reverb, the effects you can add. Dun, 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 and yeah, sorry guys, kind of on the fly right now. See, I'm just making a small, quick MIDI pattern just to show you like how reverb would sound with varying degrees of it. play with the reverb a little bit so you can hear it. It's got a lot of reverb, obviously. Alright, just a low cut. Kind of want the attack to be there, sharp, so it hits exactly. Now if it has no decay time, sounds like nothing. But the higher we go up, the more of it you'll hear. Sorry guys, give me one sec. Good. Alright, well I think that just about covers it. Thank you for everything. Good luck to everybody. I hope this tutorial was helpful in you understanding reverb and different shapes of sound waves. You guys enjoy your day.